Good morning everyone, this is BremSter, and today I'm coming to you with a puzzle called 10 Lines Number 1, Adding to 10 by Isamook. So, this is a puzzle that was submitted rather than recommended. It's really nice to get submissions. I think I've done an Isamook puzzle before. I think it was around primes. And yeah, really, I like 10-line puzzles. I don't get enough of them, or I don't see enough of them. I think it's a really interesting constraint, and I would have thought we would have seen more variants about 10 lines, possibly using different sums or anything, but it is just elegant at 10. It's been around for quite a while. It still feels like a new constraint, but I know it's a couple of years old now, but really cool. Anyway, so what else? Of course, please like and subscribe and all of the good YouTube stuff. I know it makes YouTube happy when I say that, but it is true. It does help the channel a lot. And it does help people engage with the channel for everything that anyone does, like subscribe, comment, all of that sort of stuff. There will be a link below to a video from about a week ago, a bit over maybe, where Sven has made an offer that the community can get together and come up with 5 features, of which he will for SudokuPad, and he will pick one to implement. Now, I'm collecting as many recommendations as I can, and the 5 most upvoted will go through. But when you're looking at those, go to that video, have a look, see what's been recommended. Please also think about how you want that to be recommended. I don't know how many of you work in IT. I do, and it's amazing how many people just turn around and say, do this, and you do what they wanted, and they say, go, no, not like that. And it's like, think about how you want it to work as well, and try and have discussions in the comments around that, because it would be very, very easy for Sven to have a look at what's been stated, and a lot of the statements are around, I'm surprised how many are around sort of automating the solving process, but how you would want to have that implemented, and then if Sven did it, you would go, but that's not what I wanted. Try and be very, very clear about what you want. Like if you just put in like 5 or 6 words, it would be very easy for that to be missed. Now, having your feature summarized at the top and then a comment underneath with some detail about what exactly it is you're after would help a lot, help Sven a lot, I think. Let's have a look at this. So yeah, having a look at the puzzle, because I really just want to get to it. So we've got normal, so adding to 10, or 10 lines number 1, adding to 10 by Isamook. So normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. We have 10 lines. Along these lines, or a 10 line can be divided into 1 or more non-overlapping segments that each sum to 10. Digits may repeat on 10 lines if allowed by other rules. So for example, you could have those 2 digits summing to 10, and then you would start a new group of 10 somewhere. So it could be those 2 and then those 2. It could be those 2 and then those 3. It could be those 2 and then those 4. It could be those 3 and then those 3. We don't know. So along here, there will be a group of digits summing to 10, so maybe those, and then they might sum to 10, and then they might sum to 10, and then those might sum to 10. That could be one possible makeup of the line. It's unlikely, I think, but that might be possible. Or it literally could be 10 and 10 and 10 and 10 and 10. That might be another makeup of the line. I don't know. So what we end up with, we will have to discover. And you can repeat digits, of course. So Kropki Pairs is digits separated by a black dot are in a 2-to-1 ratio, and digits separated by a white dot must be consecutive. We used to say for Kropki Pairs where not all dots are necessarily given, there's no need to say that, the same way as we don't say that not all 10 lines are given. I've come around to this way of thinking. Anyway, I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. So on a black dot, that's very restricted. So if this was 1, 2, okay, 1, 2 wouldn't sum to 10, 2, 4 wouldn't sum to 10, 3, 6 wouldn't sum to 10, 4, 8 isn't actually possible. So this one can't be 4, 8. Now, on a black dot, you must have a low digit and it's even double. So 1 doubles to 2, 2 doubles to 4, 3 doubles to 6, 4 doubles to 8. You can never have a high odd digit on a black dot because there's no partner for it. It'd either be something and a half or something over 10 or 10 or higher. So, but none of the pairs, 4, 8 doesn't work because I could potentially put 4, 8 here, because I could put the 4 and something else here and the 4 and something else here, but this is the end of a line. So if I put 4, 8 here, 4, 8 together sum to more than 10, and if I was to put just grow from here, this would have to be 10 on its own, and you can never do 10 in a single cell. So these two must be together, and it must grow. Because these can't sum to 10 on their own, and I can't make that sum to 10 on its own. So if this is 1, 2, actually it doesn't make that 7, because I could make this 1, 2, and then those could sum to 7, or even those could sum to 7. Actually, how does this work? Hang on, this is an odd total, because a white dot, hang on, but these can't sum to 10, because a white dot is always... Hang on. A white dot is always an odd digit plus an even digit, which is an odd total, which isn't 10. So this needs an extra cell, and this needs an extra cell, which means these are all part of the same line. So if this... If this is 1, 2, these could sum to 7. If this is 2, 4... these would need to sum, this would be 6, and these would need to sum to 4, and you can't make 3 cells sum to 4. And if this is 3, 6, it's even worse. This is 1, 2. And these have to sum to 7. So these are 1, 2, 4. And the only consecutive digits there are 1 and 2, and that's a 4. Okay. That puts some pressure on that cell. Because now, as I said, you can't put a high or digit. So this is either 3, 6, or 8. So this is either 3, 6, or 4. And this line is all part of a single 10 sum. That restricts this, doesn't it? This can't be... So you can't do 10 in a single cell. So this must be at least 2. But I don't think this could be 3. Because if this was 3, the minimum it could be now is 3, 4, and 5. And 3, 4, and 5 is 12. So this is now back to a different sum. These are separate, so I don't want to use too many colours. So this is a 2-cell 10 sum. And it can't be 1, 9, or 2, 8. So this is either 3, 7, or 4, 6. Now this... Well, this can't be 10 on its own. So there is a colour change here. No, there doesn't have to be a colour change here. This could be 361 or 361. Well, it can't be 361. I can't go 136 here, but these could all be the same. This could be a 10 sum if I can make that a 10 sum. Which I don't think I can do. Because the minimum here is 3, and the minimum here is 3 and 5. So with a minimum of 3 and 5 here, if these were all together, so if these were all part of the same sum, the minimum here, I can't use 1, 2, or 4. So the minimum here would be 3, 5, but the minimum here is 3. And while I could do 3, 3, 5, 3, 3, and 5 is 11. So that doesn't work. So this isn't a 3-cell sum. This is a 2-cell sum. And then this changes colour again. And this, well, I can't put 1 or 2 here or 1 or 2 here. So this is another 3, 7, 4, 6. That can't be 4, so that can't be 6. This, well, hang on. If this is an 8, this has to be, well, hang on, this can't, if this is 8, 4, I've blown the total. So if this is an 8, this is the only... If this is an 8, the 10 is here. But it can't be, because that would make this 8, 2, and that breaks that. I don't think this can be an 8. Hang on, let me run through that again. If this is an 8, this becomes 8, 4. And then this couldn't... This would already sum to more than 10, so I couldn't grow down. This would be the 10 sum, and it'd be 8, 2, and that's broken. This is not an 8, so this is not a 4, this is a 3, 6. Now, this can't be 136 because I can't put a 1 there. The minimum here is 3. And 3, 6, I couldn't repeat anyway. Actually, what is the minimum here? 1, 2, can't use 3, can't use 4. The minimum here is 5. So I can't add that to this because 5 plus 3 plus 6 is 14. So that is the 10 sum, and that is a new sum. So these have to sum to 10, which is either 6, 4, which it can't be. So this is 3 and 7. There's no 3 or 7 there. That's 6, 4, which takes 4, 6 out of there, and this is a 3, 7. This 3 makes that the 6. Now, I can't make 3 digits sum to 4, which is what this would need to be. And if I made 2 digits sum to 4, I would need another 3. I would need to make them 1, 3. So this is 6 and 4. And these are the final 2 digits which sum to 10. I can use 1, 9. I could use 2, 8. I can't use 3, 7. I can't use 4, 6. So these are 1, 9 or 2, 8. Okay. Cool. This is cool, by the way. This starts the same way, doesn't it? Yeah. This can't... Oh, it's exactly the same logic as here. I just got distracted by this line. This can't be a 3-cell line because the minimum here is 3 and 4. So the minimum if this was 3-cell would be 3, 4, 5, which is 12, and I can't make it a single cell. So that is another 2-cell line. And then this starts another line. So this is yellow, which is at least 2 cells long. This is 3, 7 or 4, 6. There's no 4 there, there's no 6 there. This, could this be 3 cells long? I did this investigation here, but I don't have the black dot, so this one could be trickier to tell. Well, I can't put 1 or 2 there, and I can't put 1 or 2 there. So minimum here is 3, minimum here is 3, minimum here would be 3. So I could go 3, 3. I don't think I can make this a 3-cell sum because the minimum here would be 3, the minimum here would be 3, the minimum here would be 5, and that's blown the total again. So the minimum I could do here is 3, 5. It is actually the same. Minimum here is 3, 5. The minimum here is 3. 3, 5 is 8 plus 3 is 11. I can't make this a 3-cell sum. These, remember, because it has to be at least 2 cells, are blue. Now, what can this be? I can't use 1, 2. Because I can't put 1 in either of them and I can't put 2 in either of them. So I can't use 1, 9 or 2, 8. I can't use 4, 6. This is 3, 7. That 3, 7 means this is 4, 6. This has to grow. Because if this was a 2-cell 10 sum, what would it be? I couldn't use 1, 9, I couldn't use 2, 8, I couldn't use 3, 7, and I couldn't use 4, 6. This has to grow. But this has got a minimum. Could this be 4 cells long? Could these be 1, 2, 3, 4? No, because then if this is 4 cells long, they'd have to be, I'm not sure what's up in my eye. These would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, because 1, 2, 3, 4 is 10. It's the only way to do 10 in 4. And I couldn't put 1, 2, or 4 in here. So this is 3 cells long. And they all see each other. So if I don't use a 1, it's 2, 3, 5. Because if I don't use a 1, 2, 3, 4 is the minimum, which would be 9. I'd have to increase one of those digits by 1. And if I increased either the 2 or the 3, I'd end up with a duplicate. So it's 2, 3, 5 if I don't use a 1. That would be 2, and this would be 3, 5. If I do use a 1, the 1 would be here, and then these would have to sum to 9. So this is a 1 or a 2 either way. And this is a 10 sum. which can't be 3, 7 or 4, 6. So this is 1, 9 or 2, 8. Okay. Okay. So that's a virtual 1, 2. Hang on, that's a virtual 1, 2 pair. So what can this be? If this is 1, these would have to sum to 9. I couldn't use 2, 7. I could use 3, 6. I couldn't use 4, 5. So if this is 1, this is 3, 6. Because I can't repeat one, use another 1. I couldn't use a 1 or a 2, and I couldn't use a 4. If this is a 2, these have to sum to 8. If this is a 2, this becomes 1, 9. So I couldn't use 1, 7. I couldn't use 2, 6. I could use 3, 5, and that would be it. There must be a 3 in here. So that's a 7 and that's a 3. This is 3, 5, 6. So this actually, I think it's the same for that. This can't be 1, 2, or 3, or 4. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it's not 7. This is 5, 6, 8, or 9. This, I think, is the same. Can't be 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5, 6, 8, or 9. This one can't be 1, 2. This could be 3. Can't be 4. Could be 5. Can't be 6, 7. Could be 8, 9. Oh, it can't be 3. This is 5, 8, or 9. If that was 5, though, this would have to be 4 or 6. This is just 8 or 9, so this is 7, 8, 9. Because it has to be consecutive. But there must be an 8 in one of those two, because you must put an even digit on a consecutive dot. But what I'm curious about is this line, because the only way to break this line up, and the same would be true up here, I think, is either I can't do 3 and then 10 in a single cell. So this is either 2 sets of 2 digits summing to 10, or it's a 4-cell line. But I don't think it could be a 4, oh, maybe it can. If this was a 5 or a 6, could I make those low enough? This has a, well, this is a minimum of 5 as well. So no, I can't. I can't make this a 4-cell line because I can't use 1, 2, 3, or 4 here. So if this is a 5 even, this is a 5, these would both have to be 0. This is 2 sets of 2. So let's make that one green and that one purple. So if this is a 5, this is a 5. If this is a 6, this is a 4. If this is an 8, this is a 2. And if it's a 9, it's a 1. It's not helping. But this can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't be 6, 7. So this is only 5, 8, or 9. So if this is a 5, this is a 5. If it's an 8, it's a 2. And if it's a 9, it's a 1. This does not seem to be helping me much. Up here, well, I've got the same here. Not 1, 2, 3, 4, or 6. So 5, 7, 8, 9, but it's not 7. In fact, this is a 5, 8, 9 triple in the row. 3 is in one of those two by Sudoku. Actually, maybe it's Sudoku I should be doing. I've probably missed some Sudoku. But 5, 8, 9 here, minimums of 5s in those means these are broken up as well. So those have to be even. This can't be 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 5, can't be 6. This is 5, 8, or 9. So these are the same. I can't make this a single 4-cell length, and if I made one of them 3, the other one would have to be 10. So this is another split into 2s. So there's a 5-cell length here, a 3-cell length here, and all of the other are 2s. But I like that you had to figure that one out. So 5 here makes this 5, 6 makes it 4, 8 makes it 2, and 9 makes it 1. Any of those knocked out? Not that I'm seeing. 5 makes it 5, 8 makes it 2. So this is what, here's a 1, 2, 5 triple, which means one of those has to be 5, which means one of those has to be 5. 7 is in one of those two by Sudoku now. Oh, I already had that. Okay, I'm a little lost. 5 here makes this 5, 8 makes it 2, 9 makes it 1, and now I've got a 5, 1, 2, 5 along here. So 5 has to be in one of those two, because if the 5 is here, this is a 5. If that's a 5, that's a 5. Either way, that can't be a 5. This is now an 8, 9 pair. So this isn't 8 or 9, so this isn't 1 or 2. That's cool. So now I've got a 1, 2 virtual pair. But I think I could still put an 8, 9 there. Otherwise, that would have to be 5, I think. No, that would have to be 8, 9 if I can't put an 8, 9 there, but I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a, oh no, 6, 7. So these are 5, 6, 8, 9 down here. I was hoping that there would be a 6 forced, but there's not. 5 makes this 5. 8 makes it... So 1, 2... I've got 1, 2, 5s all over the place. This is what's giving me a lot of freedom. So it's got to be one of these dots or some weird Sudoku I'm missing. So what can this be? Can it be 1, 2? It would make this 1, 2, these would be a 1, 2 pair. That would be 5, so that would be 5. So that wouldn't be 5, that would be 5, and that would be 5. Which would put 5 in one of those two. No, it wouldn't. That would be 5. Hang on. I might be able to chase 5s here. If these are 5, that can't be 5 anymore. So that becomes 5 for the row, which makes that 5. Now, where do I put 5 in this box? Well, these two 5s put 5 up here. But because of this 5, 5 has to be up here. So that becomes a 5, which makes that a 5. So all of purple becomes 5 if I put 5 down here. Which puts 5 in there. None of those become 5. So it makes this 1, 3, 6. So this becomes 8, 9. This becomes 1, 2. This becomes 8, 9. This becomes 1, 2. Which means this couldn't be 1, 2. That's a really weird chain. If this is 1, 2, the puzzle is broken because all of the 5s mean that there's a problem there. But I don't like that. I mean, it's true, but I don't like it. Because this would be 3, 6. No, actually, I'm not sure that's true. But that doesn't... It doesn't feel good. What's the thing here? Is it about these 5s? Is there a way that these 5s break? Like, I've just realized if I put 5 down here, all of these become 5. That's got 5 in the top. 5 would have to be in one of those. 5 would have to be in one of those. And 5 would be there. Okay. Oh, no. No, this can't be 1, 2 because this becomes 1, 2 if this... Because the 3, 6 here and the 5 up there makes this 8, 9. This is 1, 2. The 1, 2 pair makes this 8, 9, this 1, 2, and this can't be 1, 2. But that's still a really long chain. What happens if green becomes 5? So let's see what happens if I make these 5. These now can't be 5, so this does become 5. So if I put 5 here, this can't be 5, so this can't be 5, and the 5 in the box goes there, which makes that 5. Now that means in this row, this can't be 5, so this can't be 5. Does that force this to become 5? Well, the 1, 2, 5 here, I mean, I'm not sure it does, you know. I think I could still put 5 there. It would mean 5 is in one of those two. And again, in one of those... Oh, no, it could be there. It would put 5 there, because I can't put 5 on a black dot. So 5 would be there, which would put 5 there, which would force 5 onto green. And that's broken. Look at this. If these are 5, this can't be 5, so this becomes the 5 in box. This is a long chain. 5 here forces 5 here, because I need to put 5 in one of those two, which forces 5 here. Now, 5, because 5 is in these two, has to go in one of those, but I can't put 5 in a black dot, so 5 becomes here, which knocks 5 out of all of those 3 and puts 5 here, which means 5 isn't in either of green or purple, because I can't make that 5. So 5 in box 2 has to go there. And now there's nowhere to put 5 in box 5. Because this 5 and that 5 see all of those. Green cannot be 5, so those can't be 5. But does that eliminate these from being 5? Well, if these can't be 5. But I don't know that that eliminates this from being 5. I think I've just disproved that those could be 5. Because that would force 5 in this box. If these were 5... I know 5 is in one of those 3. What are these? I'll remove the 8 from there. What are these? These are 1, 2, 3, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. There's no 3 there. This can't be 1 or 2, because there's a virtual 1, 2 pair there. Maybe this is the way to look at it. Or maybe not. Okay, what is it? Sorry, I'm not a fan. I keep saying this. I'm not a fan of puzzles that give you really beautiful logical deductions like this and then don't reward you for them. But it's probable that I'm just missing something. Because this doesn't feel like a good solve path. So if these were 5, that again forces 5 up here, not there. So 5 is in one of those two. So that would force one of those to be 5. So this would be 3, 5. That would be 2. So that would be 2. That would be 8. There'd be no 5 on this line at all. This would be 1, 9. Do I need to look at these off? There's a lot of options there, though. So what can this be? It can't be 1, 2, 3, 4. Could be 5, 6. These are just 5, 6, 8, 9. There's... This is weird. Right. Look at this. If this is 9, 1, that becomes 2, and then this becomes 1, 9. So 9, 1 here makes that 2, and this becomes 1, 9. And I've got 2 9s in the box. That's not a 9, so that's not a 1. If this is 8, 2, that becomes 1, and this becomes 2, 8. So that can't be an 8. That's a 6 and that's a 4. There's no 6 here. This is 3, 5, so that is 2, and this isn't 2, 8. This is 1, 9, making that 2 and that 8. I think that's fair. It's tricky, but I think it's fair. 3, 5 looks up. The 6 looks up taking 6 out of there, so the 4 comes out of there. The 5 looks up taking 5 out of there, so the 5 comes out of there. What else have I got? I've now got an 8, 9 pair in the column. This is 1, 9, so the 9 comes out of there, so the 1 comes out of there. This is a 1, 2 pair. That's a 1, 2 pair. So that's a 5 and that's a 5. There's no 5 there, there's no 5 there. 5, 5 means 5 is down here. But the 5 looks down, making that the 3, taking the 3 out of there. Which makes that 7 and that 3. Hang on, did I do that right? I said take the 3 out. It makes that 3, taking 3 out of the 3 looks up, making that 7 and that 3. These are 6, 8, 9 now. And there is a 6 looking down. Yeah, that just works, doesn't it? Okay. The 2 takes 2 out of there and there. This is a 1, 5 pair. So we've got 5, 5, 5. That just works. This is a 1, 2 pair. That's a 1, 2 pair. Can I repeat that trick? I don't think I can. This was because it had that 3 lengths. But the 1, 2 pair there makes that 5, which makes that 5, which takes 5 out of there and 5 out of there. And now I've got another 1, 2 pair. Which means this cannot be 1, 2, because that would break that. It can't be 3, 6 because of that. So this is either 2, 4, which would be 2, 4, or 4, 8, which would be 4, 8. So this is a 4. And this is 2 or 8. 4, 4 puts 4 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 7 and 8. The 7 looks down, making that the 8 and that the 7. Which I could have got, I think. That 8 means 8 is in one of those. This 8 makes this 9, which makes this 1, which makes this 2 and this 1. This is 1, 2, 5. Which gives me a 1, 2, 5 triple. So 2 is in one of those and not there. The 8 makes that the 9, which makes that the 1, which looks up making that the 2 and that the 1, which makes that the 2 and that the 8, which looks down making that the 9, which makes that the 8 as the only consecutive digit, as well as making that the 8, taking the 8 out of those, which I got when I got that 8, but I just worked around a different way. This is now the 7 to complete the box. That was the trick to unlock it, but boy was that tricky to spot. There has to be an odd digit on this dot, because every white dot, every consecutive dot needs an odd digit, but I can't use 1, 5, 7 or 9. So this is from 2, 3, 4 and there's no 4 on it. This is a 2, 3 and the 2 tells me that's the 3 and that's the 2. The 3 makes that the 5 and that the 3. The 1 here makes that the 9 and that the 1. 1, 1. 1 is right in the corner. 1, 1, 1, 1. Not sure. 1 is in one of those two. 2, 2, 2 is in one of those two. 3 is, this is a 1, 3 pair because 1, 1, 3, 3 puts them down here, but I've got 1 and 3 looking down. That's a 1, 3 pair. So what's this triple? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9. There's no 5 there. Nope. Okay. But all the 10 lines are now done, so I think I'm down to Sudoku at this point. That was tricky. 5 is not in any of those. 5 is in one of those two. 5 is in one of those two. Eh. Eight is in one of those two. That doesn't feel like it either. Okay. 3 is not in any of those or there. Okay, so that's the 3. Putting 3 in one of those two, that's not helping. 4 is not in any of those. So 4 is in one of those two, which puts 4 in the corner. That 4... Oh, no, that 4 says that's 4. So these are 6, 7, 8, 9. There's a 7, 9 there, so that's 6 or 8. And that has to be 6 or 8 now? So these are 6, 7, 8, 9. There's no 6 there. So that's 8 or 9 because of the 7. So these, there must be a 7 in one of those two. This is 7, 8, 9. And there must be a 7 in one of those two for the column. So that is not a 7. That's a 5 or a 9. So this is 5, 6, or 8. Because it's from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But it sees 7 and 9. And it's not an 8. This is a 5 or a 6. Man, I hate it when that happens. Sorry, I have to pause. Sorry, I listen to music while I solve because it keeps... I just need something, and when my music service logs me out while I'm recording, it freaks with the way I'm thinking. That's really messed with my brain. 2, 2. So 2 is in one of those two. So what's this row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. These are 6, 8, 9 and must contain a 6. There's no 6 there, so that's the 6. This is an 8, 9 pair. 6, 6. So that is a 6. So there's a 7 in one of those two. That's not it. I don't like this trend. I really don't. 7, 8, 9. There's no 9 there. I mean, I've done it myself, but I try and make it rare, but it seems to be very common these days that every puzzle is... I need to end it with really tricky Sudoku. Otherwise, the puzzle isn't good. I'm not sure if it's just feeding the Logic Masters Germany trolls, because they just love really tricky Sudoku. Whereas I like the variant logic. The Sudoku logic, honestly, doesn't interest me that much. I mean, it's good, but this isn't the part that keeps me engaged in the hobby. This is the bit where I'm solving recreationally, where I stop solving. So that 5 takes 5 out of there. So 5 is in one of those two. So 5 now can't be in any of those. That 5 takes 5 out of there, and that can't be a 5. So that's a 5, which makes that the 9, which makes that the 7, which makes that the 8, which makes that the 6, and that the 5. The 6 looks up, making that the 8, and that the 9, which makes that the 8, which looks down, making that the 2. The 8 means that's not the 8. But the 8 looks across, making that the 7 and that the 9. Here we go. The 2 looks up, saying that's not the 2 and that's the 2. So there'll be stuff. What are these? 1, 2, and 7. So we've got 7 and 2. Well, no. What? Okay, so that's where I trusted my pencil mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is what those are. Okay, so see, that's what happens when you pencil mark correctly. This is why I hate colouring, but I can't think of another way of doing the 10 line, because it really messes with my vision. It means that I don't see stuff. And you see it with other solvers as well. The more colouring they have on the grid, the more likely it is that they miss digits. So actually this column is going to resolve it, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is a 7, which makes that the 6, which makes that the 9, which makes that the 6, which makes that the 7. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3 and 9. The 9 makes that the 3 and that the 9. The 3 looks down, making that the 1 and that the 3. Here we go, which makes this the 5, this the 1, this the 5. There's no 5 here. This is a 1-2 pair, and the 1 looks up, making that the 2 and that the 1. That was the trick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is an 8, and that is the solution. 38, 36. Okay, that Sudoku spot at the end, I missed it for too long. This spot here, really tricky. I loved that. I thought the way that these lines were resolved was really cool. I liked the way these were forced up, which meant that these lines had to be pairs rather than any other option. And then the Sudoku at the end, I particularly liked the way that, I don't know if I needed to find the fact that if I put 5 in here and I followed that through, it would knock 5 out of box 5. If I'd noticed this, I possibly would have, because I'd found the virtual 1-2 pair. And if I'd stuck with the virtual 1-2 pair, this being a 1 or 2 would force that and that to have the same value. I think that is the trick that I needed to spot earlier. And I think that is a fair deduction, and I just went down the wrong rabbit hole, and that happens. And I think the Sudoku at the end was okay, because as soon as I used to have a trend in video games where it was, if you were farming for a particular drop, I used to play World of Warcraft, farming for a particular drop, and you could farm for 3 hours and it would never happen until you complained in guild. And as soon as I complained in guild, you would get it. And then you'd have to say, oh, I've got it now. And everyone would say, what were you complaining about? See? But everyone knew that thing. As soon as I complained about it, I saw what I was missing. And it was me. It wasn't the puzzle. This one was good. I like this one. Thank you, Isamook. That was fun. Thanks everyone for watching. I think I know what I'm recording for the next couple of days. I need to kind of figure that one out. Hope you're enjoying the KG Constraints puzzles. And as always, good luck with your solving.